Well, I ate dinner. I tucked my partner into bed, and I thought a lot about the conversation I had earlier in the stream that I was doing. I also watched the ideology that Paul did, and that was pretty cool. It was especially fun fucking on whoever that was, whose name already escapes me in the chat. That was great. Wonderful roast session to be a part of. But I kept thinking about that conversation I had earlier with that Daniel person. And I think I thought, let me light this and I'll explain what I'm about to explain. So, the conversation with that guy, Daniel, kind of ended on a sour note. Because I kind of got this impression that he's one of these people that just wants to find any excuse to hate people that work on a lower economic lower economic strata than they do. And I don't know that that's true. I also don't know that it was the wrong theory to have. But I thought of a better response to what he was saying about, the shit that he was saying there at the end that made me kick him out, which was, hold on. I gotta fix this. It's running. Anyway, so he said some shit that was like, basically, rather than advocate for people in my position to get better paid and to be given a better slice of the pie, if I uh, if I feel like I'm paid so little, why don't I just try to improve my situation in life and go back to school or do whatever? And I responded in anger, and in my opinion, justifiably so. But of course, I would justify it for myself, right? And I reacted in anger because I bristled at the idea that, and I think I rightfully bristled at the idea that certain people deserve to be paid less based on the amount of effort that someone thinks they've put into bettering their lives, not based on the amount of effort that they contribute to the economy, not based on the amount of good work that they do for their company, but merely based upon an arbitrary notion of personal success. Um, And so I guess a better response to what he was saying would have been, none of that matters, Daniel. It's not, the point is not Phoebe didn't go to school and so she only deserves $10 an hour, and that's okay. The point, Daniel, was that I, like all my coworkers, perform an essential duty in this economy. We make food that the people who you consider intrinsic to the economy, intrinsic to society's growth, eat every day. All of our regulars have what you would consider these more important jobs. So why do we not deserve a bigger part of the pie, especially when we're talking about a pie that is not the taxpayer pie, it's Taco Bell's pie. Um, but I wish I hadn't gotten so angry because I could have told that response directly to him, and now I fear he may never hear it. So, oh my God, there's people in this chat. Finally, oh boy, I don't think Bob speaks English, which is a shame because I don't speak whatever language that is. Fuck that pie. Uh, Goodbye. That's fuck the. There's no pie. There's no pie for me to fuck. You're telling me to fuck a pie, but I can't fuck a pie. You're not a woman? Well, luckily for me, you're not the one who gets to determine that. Isn't that wonderful? The great thing about America is that I can live however I want to live, and You can live however you want to live, have whatever opinions you want to have, regardless of how wrong and how contrary to scientific information that they are, and I get to live peacefully. Beautiful, really, when you think about it. LOL, I'm new here. Hey, I think everybody is. That's kind of the beauty of doing these streams is they put you in the shorts algorithm, so you get to see all these new people. One of the things I love about doing these streams is getting to talk to all kinds of different people from all different walks of life. What's up, baby? What's up? I'm assuming you must know me from Paul's chat, or maybe you're a previous subscriber to the channel. Whatever. It's not letting me read whatever message this person was trying to. There we go. The facts of the facts. You were born. So okay. So maybe this person whose chat was gotten by YouTube. Maybe they don't know, but there's a difference between sex at birth and gender. Sex at birth is an immutable characteristic that is decided by genetics. Gender is an entirely social construct. If you analyze it even a little bit critically, you will find that it is a construct entirely reliant upon the opinions and thoughts of other people, a characteristic as mutable as clay. And they're not the same thing. They can't be conflated with the same thing. And it is not me as a trans person who made this society be so reliant on gender as a construct that I felt like I had to pick the opposite side of a spectrum in order to feel comfortable with myself. I didn't put those bounds upon I didn't place those bonds upon myself, and I certainly didn't place them upon you or anyone else in society. That's society's problem to deal with. I'm just dealing with it in the best way that I can in my life. You know? So if you smoke a cigarette, it's a cigarette, not a cigar, okay? A cigar. What are you fucking talking about, bro? You're just fucking spouting nonsense at this point. Number one, this ain't no cigarette. I don't know if you can, like, see, but that's not a cigarette. Why do you rant for 10 minutes over a comment? Because that's the entire idea of a stream. I feel like the world has changed so fundamentally because when I was a kid, at least not when I was a kid, but when I was a teenager, streams were first becoming like a big thing. They were always seen and pitched as interactive media. It's like, come see this creator you really like, do something live and interact with them. And now I like kind of some of the evolutions that have happened to it because now somebody like me who's not like super well known in any way can do live streams and actually get some people watching and have some fun talks and talk about shit, etc. No inward towers, bro. Oh man, they're gonna get through the whole one. Oh man, I do hate a spammer. Dude, inward towers, bro. Fucking y'all need Jesus. Anyway, I always saw streams as an interactive medium, and I still see them as an interactive medium. So I expect people to be reasonable with their comments. And a lot of my point of being here is wanting to talk to other people. So it doesn't make sense for me not to rant about a comment. The whole reason I'm here is to see what y'all are doing out there and to talk about it. And, that's the beautiful thing about it. Pop one for the boys, know what I'm saying? No, unfortunately, I don't know which one I'm supposed to pop for the boys. Man, am I getting like that's so weird. I've only got 2 viewers, but I've definitely got more than 2 people doing fucking inward towers on my stream. What the fuck is that about? What the hell, dude? And think about this, if anybody's watching. Paul's ego made me think about this the other day. I haven't stopped thinking about it since. Every single time I ban somebody out of this chat, I am stealing somebody's free time. Like 5 minutes of it, maybe, but still, free time. It belongs to me now, you know? Wink your beehole and I'll cash up a hot 40. Oh, fuck. Probably bullshit. But I'm not gonna do it even if it's not bullshit. But that made me laugh. That made me laugh. You, my friend, can stay. You fucking weirdo. Lou, you wild. Yeah, Lou is fucking wild. I don't know what they're on, bro. Man, let the resident crackhead stay. All you people doing fucking inward towers and stupid shit, y'all got vamos. But Lou can stay because they're a fucking crazy man. I was driving with no underpants on this morning, going to McDonald's breakfast, and my asshole leaked all over the seat of my new Audi. Humble flex. What the fuck? Is this a bot? Is this like a okay? This is one of two things. This is either a bot that just comes up that its entire prerogative is to come up with ass related stories and comment them in YouTube chats, or it's a troll whose strategy is the same thing. Either way, it's kind of making me giggle like a schoolgirl. So I guess I shouldn't, you know, like, I don't really have a complaint. I bet that's Delta 8 you smoking. No, it is. It legitimately is because I'm trying to quit weed, and I have this theory that which at this point, all I smoke are these like Delta 8, fucking THCA, etc., CBG type fucking non joints. I have this idea that if I can accustom myself to smoking these and get used to that, that'll probably be easier to quit than regular weed, because at that point I'll just be dealing with like an oral fixation and more of a placebo. But I don't know. This is not exactly a scientifically backed idea I've got going on here. It just makes me feel a hell of a lot less paranoid living in a state that criminalizes weed. It makes me feel a lot less paranoid smoking something I can just get at a gas station. So, whatever. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Every single time. Man, what is so fun about that? What is so, like, I cannot perceive of any sort of kind of like fun point to doing that. Like, I'm not gonna say it out loud. It's just a weird troll attempt. I don't know. I guess the whole point is to derail me, which good job it did. So, on that note, I'm gonna shut the fuck up about the stupid ass trolling going on in my chat and just start banning it silently, while I keep talking about the labor message that I was thinking about earlier, which is that people have this idea, this fucked up idea in their head um, that you need to have done something with your life to deserve better pay, and I feel like it completely disregards the necessity of people who do jobs like I do, who do retail jobs, who do frontline customer service everywhere. It disregards completely the input that we have on the economy and the importance that we have in the economy, because we are the face of the companies that we work for. We are the people who make the food, the people who stock the shelves, and are the people who greet the customers, the people who work the cash registers and handle their money. You know what I mean? You would think that would be seen as pretty necessary labor, that you would want to keep people in who are good at it. You'd want to use that experience and reward it, right? You would think, right? But that's not how we're treated. That's not how that entire group of the working class is treated. And it's absurd and it's wrong, because we're so intrinsically necessary to the proper operation of the society. This entire society collapses. If all cashiers gave up tomorrow, if all cashiers walked out tomorrow, America would become pretty dysfunctional pretty goddamn quickly. Like, okay, someone who doesn't watch the news, right? They wake up and they go get in their car and they start driving towards town, and they think, I'm going to get a haircut today. I'm going to get whatever. I'm going to get groceries, and I'm gonna make a payment for at I'm gonna make a payment on my credit card, so I got to get money out of the ATM to do that, or whatever the fuck, right? Um, so they start leaving, and once again, we're imagining a day where there's no cashiers, right? Where all cashiers have just walked away. All frontline customer service have just decided not to go in. They get to the gas station. There's no one there to ring them up. And there's no one there to stock the shelves. So there's most of the product is missing. It's already been taken off with by other people, um, assuming the doors weren't left locked, which they probably were. So the pumps are on. You can use your credit card if you've got a card, but if not, you're shit out of luck. You get your gas on your credit card and say, well, I really hope this isn't everywhere. And you get to the barber shop, and it turns out all frontline customer service includes your local fucking hairdresser and all these other, types of positions, right? Um, you leave the barber shop and you go to the grocery store, and once again the doors are locked. You can't get in, you can't get your groceries because nobody was there to open the doors. Maybe the managers are there, but what can 10 managers do with a store that's normally supposed to be run by 50 people? So people people are more than willing to shit all over that sect of the working class. They're more than willing um, to trivialize our contribution to the economy and trivialize our contribution to our workplaces, but they are entirely reliant on us. And when we do fuck up at our work, when we do when a failing happens, when something falls on us, we are chastised in a way that makes it very clear and obvious that a lot of people are counting on us to do our jobs right, but we are not rewarded and compensated as such. And that is wrong, regardless of what education the people who are doing those jobs have received prior beforehand. I don't even know why that dude brought that up as, as a dig, as if me doing labor advocacy is merely a desire to work a better job. No, it's like I've I've always advocated for labor since I understood how to advocate for labor. No matter what job I'm working or whether I'm working a job. And the idea that it's just, um, I don't know, that's just, I feel like a lot of people act like it's just self interest that drives a labor discussion when you're talking about someone who's in my position, doesn't make very much, works like an entry level uh, type of job. Um, there's just kind of this baseline assumption that those types of jobs should remain shitty forever. That there should be no job that you can just walk into out of high school and, get trained at on the job and be able to work your way through and be good at it and earn your fucking, earn promotions and raises and shit. That just shouldn't exist. For some reason, it seems like a lot of people have decided, for whatever reason, once again, I don't understand it. It's so anti labor, but it seems like a lot of people have decided that unless you're willing to put yourself into thousands of dollars of, thousands of dollars of student debt, or put yourself through hundreds of hours of virtually no pay, or do some other horrible sacrifice that you kind of deserve to make nothing. That you kind of deserve. It's a very strange kind of blood sacrificey idea to me. It's like you've got two options presented by life, or not by life, by the society. You can either um, work your ass off, or you can work your ass off. You can work your ass off and be really shit on and have a really shitty life for 5 years, and then have a moderately less shitty life for the rest. Or you can be really fucking shit on and just have a really shitty life for 80 years, and every 5 years, life will really shit on you. But you don't have that 5 concentrated years or 6 or 8 concentrated years of things just being sucky before you get to have a little bit of success. It seems like people want to gatekeep basic comfortability, basic ability to live and do the things that this society really fucking insists upon people. It seems like the society wants to push you to do a lot of shit, but really does not want you to have any advancement unless you're willing to go down like one of 3 very specific paths. It's like that's not too reliant on people who do the kind of work that I do. And eventually people will start to realize just how fucked up it is and just how much their skills are actually valuable and how much being good at their a difference versus when they're just shitty at it. And eventually people will start to rise up against it. And when that happens, it's gonna really fucking suck for some of these people that have been constantly shitting on fast food workers, because they're gonna have to eat a lot of crow and admit that a lot of us have had a lot of passion in our hearts and have been contributing in a meaningful way to the economy. We just didn't, you know, we didn't work full time and go to college full time so that we could have a job that pays, 20 grand more than what our current job pays. You know, as helpful as that would be, it's not fair that you had to go through that opaque social crucible before you ever got the chance to make decent money. It's also not fair that I'm expected to do that. I don't know why anyone thinks that the ability to live comfortably and fulfill basic human desires should be gatekept behind sacrificing 5 years of your life and blood to some to the monster of capitalism, basically. Hello. Hello, DP Singh. How are you doing? I'm just sitting here talking about how fucked up fucking everything's got us. Fucking so sick of capitalism I could scream. Oh man. Oh god, dude. I feel like I don't know how to put it, like an existential weight upon me every time I think about the reality of our situation. We are all of us stuck in a society that is completely predicated on turning every human need into profit, turning every human desire into profit, turning every human motive and drive into profit, extracting it from you at every chance that it gets. It's a whole society built on fucking each other over. Don't you love it? Are you what? Am I Emilla? What? What are you asking me? I don't understand these people. I I straight up, I'm straight up confused sometimes by my chat. Sometimes I'm not even sure if I'm actually talking to real people. No, I'm probably not whoever you think I am. I don't. Does it not say my channel name on the live stream? Because it should. You can go see my other videos. You can read my description. Anyway, my name's Phoebe. Sounded like you were trying to figure out my identity of some kind. I don't know. My identity of some kind, bro. I'm so fucking high. Oh, I did get everything looking really nice out here, and I'm proud of myself for that. Hello, greetings. Yes, I am the great and ignoble Phoebe. My cat's sitting out here chilling with us, but you can't see him because he's hiding. But yeah. Oh. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. Anyway, what do you guys want to talk about? Because I've just been sitting here ranting about capitalism being a fucking horrible nightmare for us all to live through, and about how I wish I would have argued with somebody who's not even popped in with an alt account to say whether they liked that response or not. So we should move on to something interesting, because you know that's what makes the world go round. Gringler Chunts, a fucking classic contributor as usual. Let's see what they've got to offer. Would you let a space alien crash on your couch? Hell yeah, dude. Oh my god, when you said that, it just implanted this whole fucking script for a fucking stoner comedy. All right, stoner comedy movie where somebody's sitting around doing something just like this. They're watching TV or they're playing some video games in their fucking garage or something, smoking weed, sitting on a couch, and there's nobody else at home. They hear a fucking crash in the backyard, right? They run out there, and the door flies open, they run out there, and then they like drop the joint, right? There's the camera kind of like follows the joint as it drops down, or maybe it's like the camera on the ground, the joint drops, you kind of like, you know, and in the background you see the joint in the foreground, right? In the background you see the fucking spaceship. There's some crashed out alien spaceship, right? And there's only one alien off in there, but he gets out of the spaceship. They have this argument. It's a very stonery fucking hilarious argument, because of course it is, right? And then the alien comes over there, and then the fucking stoner walks over to him and he's like, listen man, like, you can park your spaceship back here, but like, it's all fucked up now. Where are you gonna sleep, bro? And the alien's like, fuck. Okay, here we've come to a plot decision, right? So do we make the alien a stoner too? Or do we make the alien like like a very business casual kind of guy who gets who gets like turned into a crazy stoner alien through the events of the movie? Because I think that's more interesting, right? So the alien's like, previous contacts with your race have allowed us to match your skin tones and your body shape fairly easily. I also understand from previous contacts that it is not uncommon for humans to host guests on sleeping spaces that are alternatively used for sitting spaces. I believe they are called sofas and couches. Would I perhaps be able to sleep on yours? And the stoner's like, yeah, man, I guess. Like, only for a couple of nights. But, I mean, you know, like, mi casa, su casa. And so, right, the stoner invites him in, and hilarity ensues, right? So they have the first night to themselves at the house, right? And The stoner just kind of like watches the alien sleep all creepily. It doesn't spend a whole lot of time on that, just a scene that kind of like shows the stoner being like an unaware retard, right? And then he's like, weird. And, the stoner, they walk away. And then the next day, they've got the house all to themselves still, right? But at the end of that day, or maybe the morning of the next day, the family that actually owns the house, that the stoner's just like the older brother or something or whatever, they actually return, right? So they get home and there's this fucking alien staying with them. They're fucking back and their fucking ships in the backyard. And so they have to do this crazy scramble in this crazy montage where they've got to do a bunch of shit, and it's got to happen in 30 minutes because they just got the message that their fucking parents are on the way back from the fucking airport. So they got to get all this shit done. They got to get this fucking spaceship cleaned up. They got to get the yard cleaned up. They gotta get the fucking alien cleaned up. They gotta get everything fucking cleaned up. They got a party yesterday while nobody was there and nobody's cleaned up. So the fucking alien has to pull out some of his fucking alien tools and some of his fucking alien tricks, and fucking all this crazy shit happens, right? And then the parents get there, or the rest of the family gets there. And the alien by this point is actually kind of acclimated, and they think like, oh, it's just one of his like stoner buddies, it's like one of the stoner's friends. Cool. Little did they, and so then that's when the inter fucking the interspace, that's when the interspace commerce happens. No, the that's when the interplanetary fucking conflict starts to impinge on the movie. So then you've got, you're about halfway through, right? And suddenly, the big villain of the movie this whole time has been like kind of just the impending pressure on this alien to get their ship back up and running, because they come from this planet that, kind of like America, is very demanding of its personnel, basically. And so they've got this real fear that if they don't return in time, that their version of the Space Force might show up and start taking humans hostage, trying to fucking dig out their boy, and so it dawns on the alien as they're eating dinner that, or maybe either it dawns on him, or he's got like, maybe they've got some kind of like an Apple Watch or something, that gets like a ding, and um it's like, don't worry, Grog, we're coming to get you. And it's the alien mothership, and so they've got to figure out a way to. They've basically got a spring on this family. Like, listen, I'm a whole ass fucking alien, and I know there's gonna be a lot to take in all at once. But basically, I need you guys to help me negotiate a peaceful handover. So my fucking the alien's like, right, like, so the alien basically is like this. He's like, my home race doesn't know that I've been sitting around getting high with your kid for the last 2 days. They think I've been down here like being held hostage or something because my radio blew up, right? You starting to see the picture? So I need it to look like that's kind of what happened. I need you guys to look like the good guys, because I kind of like you guys. I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. And so they have to orchestrate this whole thing where it's like the aliens are going to come down and they're going to use the GPS tracking feature or whatever, the locational tracking on the alien's wristwatch device to locate them. But when they get close, there will be this like uh, very orchestrated thing that the humans had to put on to make it look like we didn't take him hostage. We just took them into our care while they repaired their ship. And you end the movie with someone's barking infinitely because it's got nothing better to do. No, I'm just kidding. You end the movie with like um, some really beautiful tear-jerking scene where the stoner alien has to leave, and the stoner at first is like, really sad, really tore up about it, right? But but then his mom or something, um, their mom, because I don't know what gender the stoner should be, um, but their mom is like, honey, I mean, you've been talking about wanting an adventure for a while. This could be just the thing. And so the stoner decides, I'm going to get on the fucking alien spaceship. And the alien race is like, all right, this is fine. As long as you will listen to the protocols or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, gives them some kind of speech, and they let him on. And then the ending cut of the movie is just them flying away on their repaired spaceship with the entire might of the alien space force riding behind them, fucking slingshotting over the moon, off into the void of space. Whole ass movie from one comment. So yes, I would let a space alien crash on my couch because I'm sure that it would lead to the very same thing that I just laid out. It would be capers. It would be fun. Damn, I'd watch it. Yeah, dude, I would too. Knowing my luck, that's probably not that dissimilar to a film that already exists. I should ask Paul next time he's streaming. Like, is there a movie about a stoner who lets an alien sleep on his couch, turns him into a stoner, and then flies off with him in a spaceship? And he'll probably be like, "Yeah, that's fucking Space Stoners, the movie, or whatever." I don't know, but that made me laugh. So that's what really counts. How did that motherfucker earlier know I was smoking Delta 8? That shit's weird. Anyway, I didn't honestly want to be on here super long tonight. I more or less wanted to address that thing that I talked to Daniel about earlier. And then I don't know, I've got half a mind to go ahead and get off. Beefy Queef, haven't you asked Paul the same question like 10 times and gotten banned every fucking time? You fucking troll. No, I've never huffed Jankum, you fucking crazy man. Jankum is not a real drug, kid. Jankum is not real. Do some weed, make you feel better, alright? No, I have huffed nitrous before, though. Jankum is not real, but nitrous is very real. And I've done nitrous before. Never done Jankum, though. Never would. There are just some things that are too disgusting for me to even try, even if they would get me high as a kite. Like licking the toad. I ain't never gonna lick no toad. Nitrous is lame compared to the power of the jank. Whatever, dude. Shut the fuck up. Jankum is not real, bro. You can't convince me that Jankum is real in a second because I don't believe I don't. You know that dude in Iran or whatever who never showered in his life, or it'd been like 50 years when he died. Like Alu Vabor or something. I forget his name. It was like Alu Kaber or something. I don't remember. That dude would not have done Jankum. That dude who literally smoked dog turds out of a repurposed metal thing from a scrapyard would not have done Jankum once, bro. Dude, if Jankum was that fucking hot, somebody would have had us make it in fucking middle school. That's all I gotta say. Because for whatever reason, dude, middle schoolers want to be trying all the drugs. I would have had like a coke habit if I'd ever been able to like touch hard drugs when I was in middle school. It's honestly good for my life that I didn't really get exposed to much like actual drug culture in terms of substance until I was like 18 or 19, because I ended up really only having like a consistent love for weed, and it's a pretty tame drug. All in all. It connects your soul and your spirit. You didn't even know that those are two separate things. Bro, yeah, you're blowing my mind right now. The soul and the spirit, man. I gotta huff the jankum to make them mix together and mesh right in my brain. I never knew, bro. I feel like I'm getting sage wife wide. Wait, what? I'm getting sage fucking wise ass wisdom from a wise ass wise guy. It gives you the power to see into the present, but from the future. Oh my god, bro. One of these days, somebody's going to be crossing the railroad outside of my house. And I'm going to hear that noise I just heard, and immediately afterwards, I'm going to hear as like their fucking axle comes separated from their suspension. The whole ass transmission falls out of their car because they hit the fucking rails too fast. Dude, I creep over those rails like an old fucking lady because I value less wear and tear on my vehicles, thanks. Just because the underside of your bumper can scrape the road without much harm to it doesn't mean it looks nice, feels nice, or sounds nice. Listen, I already tell this motherfucker he's gonna cross that thing too fast. No, actually, they did good. They did all right. They did okay. But that other one, dude, not a good sound. You never want to hear that crossing over a railroad track. Dude, I'll tell you a drug that legit does give you powers. Not really, but kinda. Fucking the unique combination of acid and mushrooms made me feel things I'd never felt before. I'm not gonna say it gave me powers, because I don't think that there's like, there's nothing you can take that's gonna make you actually fly or make you actually be able to move things with your mind or whatever. But there are things you can take that can give you control over your brain and a window into new experience that no other form of activity can give you. I mean, obviously, each of them separately can provide a really unique experience that nothing else that you could do is going to give you. But those two in conjunction, I just think, I don't know, the most transcendental experience I've ever had on psychedelics I've had while I was tripping on acid and mushrooms. And so it's very special to me. But there was also a lot of things that went into making that a really beautiful trip and a really fun trip. Oh, me some Jankum now? Oh my god. Wrangler, you fucking blasphemer. You fucking heretic. I don't fucking... No, you do not want Jankum, motherfucker. No. Gross, dude. Gross, dude. That's like people calling fucking Pepsi and popcorn mixed together pissy shitties. Y'all are ridiculous, dude. You Zoomers and your weird fucking shit. Insisting to everybody that we be doing Jankum. I know y'all motherfuckers are trolling. If y'all weren't, I would have done some Jankum in middle school. I didn't do no Jankum, okay? Fucking Jankum, bro. They keep doing it to me because they know it's making me giggle a little bit because I'm like a child, so whatever. I'm getting trolled by my chat. I guess that's okay. When I did acid and shrooms together, I thought my clothes were holding my body together like that girl with the scarf. That's the type of shit I'm talking about, right? So I had this beautiful experience during the moment I just was talking about, that time when I was tripping, two different ways, two different kinds of acid too, and one big dose of mushrooms. And I had two really beautiful points that were united by the same kind of feeling. I felt like I felt like I got to experience Cotard's delusion very briefly. I felt like I was dead, but I was relieved by it. It was the weirdest feeling. I felt like what started it off, right, is I was starting to peak right as right as I'd sat down to wait for my friend, um, who I was tripping with and who was significantly less faded than I was, because they didn't take the mushrooms, and they only got one tab of acid that was offered to us, and I took two. Um, and so they were standing in line for homemade nachos at Nacho Mama. And this was at the Rainbow Gathering, the 50th anniversary nationals in Craig, Colorado. We were sitting in line at Nacho Mama's kitchen, and the friend I was traveling with at the time, and who I was tripping with in that moment, was in line to get the food, and I was just kind of sitting on a grassy little spot right next to the line, and I was kind of like laying down more or less, because I don't know if any of y'all feel the same way, but when I'm on really high dose psychedelics, I feel heavy. I get to where and yeah, I get it, I'm fat. I feel heavy at the best of times, right? But I feel like weirdly heavy when I'm on psychedelics. So I want to sit, bro. I want to sit, or I want to be going. I want to be moving. I don't like standing around when I'm on psychedelics usually. But sometimes I even end up doing that. It's just I will get to where I feel heavy sometimes, and so I was sitting down and kind of like leaning over, and I I had this moment where for like 5 or 6 seconds it seemed like I was saying stuff. I, I I was so high that I was kind of like talking to myself more or less, and I was saying shit, and nobody was really giving me any mind, and nobody was paying any mind because it's Rainbow. Yeah, of course, a hippie sitting there tripping acid, talking to themselves. That's what Rainbow is. So nobody was paying it any mind, as they rightfully shouldn't have. But it made me feel like must have been a ghost or something. Like I was only visible to certain people. Like my friend could still see me, obviously, because they were smiling at me and making sure I was okay. But I must be a ghost because only they can see me, and nobody else is paying me any mind or noticing me at all. And it filled me with a very brief sense of dread, and then a very prolonged and beautiful feeling of relief. And when Adam finally got, damn it, I wasn't gonna say their name. Well, anyway, um, when my friend got back with the food, they sat down and we started eating, and I just started giggling. I just started laughing and fucking having a gay old time. And they were like, "Phoebe, what's so funny?" And I was like, "I'm dead." And they were like, "Huh?" And I was like, "I'm dead. I've got nothing to look forward to and nothing to be afraid of. I've got nothing to worry about and nothing to consider. All my concerns are over. All my joy is gone, but so is my sadness. And I'm so happy about it." That's a rough approximation of what I said. That was the sentiment of what I was saying. And they started laughing their ass off, and they were like, "I fucking love you." And it was a really loving, cool moment, because in that moment, I felt like I was experiencing what it might be like to experience those last few moments of life, where it's like, oh, fuck, finally. Joy is over, but so is pain. Love is over, but so is hate. Life is over, but so is death. And for me, the story ends here. And I felt like I got to, like, for a split second there, my brain allowed me to legitimately believe that I was dead, that I was not living anymore, and that I was no longer noticeable on this plane to other people. And I don't know if that's ego death, but it felt like it, and it gave me a very intense sense of relief because it was like, oh my god, everything's going to be okay when it finally does happen. And the portent to this is not as serious as I had once thought. And this is all going to be okay. And that was really formative for me, I think. I think that trip might have been one of the things that allowed me to start getting out of the fucking cycle that I was in, honestly. It's just crazy to think about. Oh, anyway, I think I'm gonna get off here because it's super late for me and I gotta work at 8 in the morning. So it's been a fun conversation. I will talk to you guys later.